Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I am doing this fun Valentine's Day look. This look was inspired by, I will insert name because I'm blanking on it right here, but I will also have the photo that I had. I was just Googling like different makeup looks. Anyways, ended up finding their Instagram account. It's from like 2 years ago, but I was like, you know what? I want to try something different, something Valentine's, kind of theme. And I've also really been wanting to play with this palette again, which I think this is either 1 or 2 years old. This is just the Sugary Hearts palette by Sugary Cosmetics. It's the only thing I have from the brand, but I wanted to bust it out and play with it again because I have barely played with it in a really long time, which is something I'm really trying to do. But yeah, if you want to see how I created this look, just stay tuned. If you want to see more looks similar to this or anything kind of cool like that, feel free to give me a subscribe. I would appreciate a like, comment, all that stuff, and let's roll on with the video. Okay, so starting off, I'm just taking the Juvia's Place eyeshadow primer shade number 1. I'm going to go ahead and dip into the shade Kiss Me using a Blend Bunny Cosmetics B1 brush. And I'm just going to apply that to my natural crease. I'm definitely going to make sure to go back and tap on extra pigment to get the color that I'm looking for, as this is more of a reddish deep pink shade. When first applied, it looks more like a softer pink, so just kind of going back and forth, building it up. As this look is a halo look, I'm just going to make sure that I'm also applying pigment to the outer and inner corners of the eye. I will be applying more like once we cut the crease and all of that, but that is that. Next, I'm going to go in with the shade BFF, just using Blend Bunny Cosmetics, the B5 brush, and just go right over the top, overlapping slightly, just to apply that color. Now, I know I'm taking this as a more dramatic, I guess you might say, than the original, but as we all know, I love my bright colors. I wanted to make this super bright. Okay, so I'm actually going to go ahead and go in with the shade Love Wind using the same brush, and I'm basically taking that all the way up. You don't have to go as high as I am, but lately I've really been liking to bring the color almost all the way up to the brow bone. I will be going in with a bit more of that original like reddish pink shade just to build up the crease. I'm almost tempted, I might play with it, this shade here, which is called True Love. It is a metallic, but it's not an overly metallic kind of shade. I feel like that's like the worst swatch ever. But I have used it in the crease before, so I might try it just to make sure that we are getting some definition, because this is a lot of pink right now, and it just looks a little crazy. Oh yeah. Quickly, I'm just going to go in with a clean blending brush. This is just the medium blending brush by Colored Rain, just to kind of soften everything out first before I go back in with additional colors. So I am going to go ahead and go in with the True Love shade, just using that B1 brush that we had used before, just building it up into the crease. This color is so pretty, so pigmented. That's one thing I would definitely say about this brand. To me, it is super underrated. I do want to get more of their products. They only have this one palette, so I think when they come out with a new palette, I'll probably give that one a try. Either that or like when I have some extra money left in my beauty budget, that I might pick up one of their other palettes, because they are, at least this one, is really good. The pigments are really good. The glitters are dried out now, because it's been like either 1 or 2 years that I've had this palette, I don't remember. And that just tends to happen, so I'm gonna say it's not that big of a deal. You can still use them, they're just not as pigmented. Next, I'm gonna go ahead and just start kind of cutting up my crease. So I'm using the same product, the Juvia's Place eyeshadow primer, just a flat shader brush. Now, what'll be different about this is, because it is a halo eye, we're not going to take the cut all the way in. Now, this is a technique I do not like ever do, so allow me to struggle through this. for a moment. It's not looking terrible. I think what's hard is like this part out here and making sure that it looks even. I'm gonna say that that's an okay shape. What I am doing to make sure it doesn't get too out of hand, just taking any flat shader brush. This is a discontinued one from Sonia Kashuk. But any flat shader brush, tap out the base, and then I'm gonna start kind of blending in that outside shadow. Because this is not a full cut crease, so we are gonna be adding more pigment inside in a second. Basically just tapping and blending so that we have that good cut. Okay, so I'm gonna go back on that smaller V1 brush. I'm gonna start, I think, with the Kiss Me shade, and then I'll use a little bit of BFF. But basically, just refilling in the outer edges of the eyes. So basically, all I'm doing is taking the shadows in about a third of the way. So what I kind of always try to do is, I forget, is it your pupil, iris, whatever, the colored part, I'm bringing the product basically to about there on both sides. We'll do that on both eyes. I will take a little bit of BFF just to keep it kind of, you know, working. I'm gonna take, I was originally gonna use the shade Say Yes, but, which is also super pretty, but I never used the shade Crush, which is like a pinky lavender kind of shade to me. I'm taking another one of these flat brushes. This is from Wet n Wild. I do not support Wet n Wild anymore. I just, their inclusivity and everything with their skincare, I just don't care for. But anyways, if you ever find these like a Dollar Tree, I think I got mine at the Dollar Tree for, of course, at the time $1. But even if you could find them now for like $1.25, their brushes are usually hit and miss. But these ones, I don't know, they're just a flat shader brush, super thin. They might also be called like a concealer brush. They are one of my favorites for cutting creases, applying like a shimmer shadow right up to the cut. They're actually pretty decent. Most other brushes though suck, if I'm honest, but these ones are very, very good. Okay, so I'm just taking some of the Nyx Glitter Glue, and I've decided, I went ahead and did it on this side, so I'm doing on this side. Just fill in the shape. I am using the shade Love Wind on the outer kind of perimeter of the crease, or the lid, and then I'll use Say Yes just right in the center, so it gets a nice pop of shimmer. So let me show you real quick. So same brush we used to apply the glitter glue. I'm taking the more pinky shade So Crush just along the cut, and I'm kind of applying, not a ton, but I'm going back just to make sure that we get a nice amount so you can really get a nice clean cut. And then I'm going to take that shimmer on the side of both parts of the eye, and then go in with Say Yes, that white shade, and just pop that on the lid. So pretty. I'm also going to go ahead and take a little bit of that metallic-y red, the True Love shade, with that original B4 brush, and just work on kind of going back and forth with these colors and blending them together. I forgot to tell you, I'm just taking Love Wind with a flat shader brush and just applying that to my brow bone. I'm going to go ahead and clean up everything real quick. So apply foundation, liner, mascara, all that stuff. I'm not sure if I'm going to add anything else to the look, but we will see. When I get to a point in a look or a makeup right now, like I'm feeling right now, where I'm like, do I like it? Do I not? Like, I don't hate it, but I want to like add more, just like clean up the definition and all that stuff. But I've been really trying to force myself to finish, you know, everything else first. And then if I feel the need to come back and add more stuff, then I can. So I'm going to do that real quick, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so we have reached the end of the video playing with the Sugary Hearts palette by Sugary Cosmetics. I don't know how I feel 100%. I do. It's different for me. But I still really do like it. I think that I'm gonna like it as I go on. I think it's just from a far back, I can't see the cut as like strong. So I'm just like, oh my god, I look, you know, crazy. or whatever, but I don't know. I'm appreciating it. I think it's fun for something different, and I do want to create more similar things to this, and I'm really excited that I played more with an older eyeshadow palette. This is definitely a super, really good one. If you are interested in this or the brand or whatever, I would say so far, go ahead and go for it. I still, like I kind of said in the video, want to pick up more from the brand, but I definitely do recommend, at least this palette is super great quality. But that is basically it for this video. Go ahead and leave me a like, comment, let me know, do you like this look? Are you going to recreate something similar? And of course, please subscribe if you want to join me on this awesome channel here. Alright, I will see you on my next video. Okay, bye!